Hi everyone, I am Jessica Dipzinski. I am so glad that you are here today on my channel. So for this month, the Makers with Heart thought it would be fun to focus our collaboration on some organizational tips and maybe how we do things in our craft room that help us to get organized for those projects. Honestly, I'm a fairly organized person in real life, but when I stopped to think about it, I wasn't sure that I really had anything, earth-shattering or very important to share as far as organizational tips go. So what I think I'm going to do is I will show you how I print and arrange my photos because I do mostly scrapbook chronologically. And I do from time to time kind of jump out of order, especially if I have a certain paper pack or stamp set that I want to use and it's relevant to some different photos that, aren't where I am chronologically in the process. So I'll show you how I arrange my photos, but I also thought that it might be fun to give you a little sneak peek of my scrapbooking room. I know that I really love watching and learning from a lot of different crafters on YouTube, and I know I would be curious to see what's behind the scenes, right? Like, what does it look like beyond just your hands and the top of your desk? So I'll give you a quick little tour around my room. So here is where everything's at. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So over here in the corner between my two windows is where I have my desk. This is a desk that I actually found at a garage sale and refinished myself. And you can see just on my desk I have the usual things like all of my crafting tools, my Close to My Heart ink pads arranged in rainbow order, shimmer brush pens, and a couple of buckets with some current stamp sets and other kinds of tools, as well as some of my pattern books. Now over to the floor here, this is one of the tips I wanted to share with you. I created this a long time ago. I would buy some crafting magazines or scrapbooking magazines and then always forget to go back and look at them for inspiration. So I started pulling out the pages of the things that I liked, and sometimes I would even write notes on them. And then I just put them into a regular old 3-ring binder that has some regular page protectors in it, the kind that you get at an office supply store, and made my own little idea book. So that's one tip that I have for you. Now, I also keep in these baskets some of my older pattern books, some of the most recent Close to My Heart catalogs, all things that I use to draw some inspiration from. And so this is where I turn to when I'm starting a project. And then over to the left is where I just have a hodgepodge of things. My printer, a couple more stamp sets, a bunch of embellishments, ribbon, shimmer trim, and my photos, my embroidery thread, all of those sorts of things. Now behind my desk, you can see this is my little station where I do my die cutting. I have another container with a bunch of stamps, several containers actually. This is a chair that my husband asked for Father's Day so he could come hang out with me while I'm crafting. And then back on that table is where I have all of my cardstock organized by color, my Cricut, the clock that I never like to look at when I am in the crafting room, and my albums. And so that is what is sitting behind me. Okay, so let me show you how I print and organize my photos. So I apologize if you can hear my kittens rustling in the background, but of course they followed me in here and they're just having so much fun right now, being noisy. So here you can see I just like to keep my photos in a container like this. Close to My Heart recently started carrying something similar, so I will link that down below if you don't already have a system like this. But I've had this for ages and ages, and it just comes with 6 different little tinier containers that fit into this bigger bucket. And I print my photos from Snapfish. So what I like to do is when I am pulling the photos off of my Canon camera, I put them on my computer and I put them into folders according to first the year, and then each year folder has also all of the months in it. And so I just go ahead and put all of the photos into the folders that they belong in. Then from there, I upload them into Snapfish, and all of my Snapfish albums are named in the same way. So I do the month and the year. That way I can easily find things. When I'm ready to print, I know that next I'm going to need, April, May, June, for example, of such and such a year. And then I'll go through and I'll print probably 2 or 3 months at a time. When they come, they're in a big box in all sorts of jumbled order because of course they never seem to print in the same order that I put them in. And what I do is I just take all of my photos and I kind of sort them. So I can generally tell, which days go together, like, oh, those pictures are all from the same event or day. And I will just make piles around my desk like this. And so I will just have photos spread everywhere. Then what I will do is I will open up my computer, and the computer file will tell me when I hover over it what date those pictures were taken on. So then what I do is I cut up a couple of pieces of sticky note, and then I write down what the date is, and then I start arranging my stack, which hopefully I haven't just messed up too much, but I will arrange my stack in chronological order. So you can see here I've got a whole bunch of sticky notes. They all have dates on the back, and I let them stick up over the edge of the photo just a little bit to act as that divider between the different sets of pictures. Then I have all of my pictures in order based on the date, and I just kind of tend to move through them chronologically. And like I said, every now and then I will have a paper pack or a stamp set that I'm really anxious to use, and it doesn't really go with where I am chronologically. And if that's the case, then I will use my photo printer that you saw in my tour, and I will just print something, you know, more current. And so I do definitely have a lot of other layouts that are out of chronological order and just kind of waiting for me to get there when I can put them into the album as well. But that's how I do it, and I don't know. Those are my tips, guys. Like I said, in real life, I am actually a fairly organized person, but I don't feel like I have anything earth-shattering to share as far as craft room tips. I'm really anxious to see what the other Makers with Heart are sharing for this month's collaboration, because I know I'm going to learn so many wonderful things. And I'm also really anxious to hear in the comments down below what some of your ideas and tips are as well. So I would love it if you would share some of those things with the whole group, and so everybody could kind of read through them. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by today. I know this is a different sort of video. You'll have to let me know if you liked it or not. It was a little interesting to make, but I'm really glad that you are here and that you have stuck with me to watch the entire thing. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye.